Come and join us on a journey today. We are going to quickly whip up some of our fail-proof slow cooker freezer meals. I purposely chose our most tried and true recipes, and when we say no fail, we mean it. You're just gonna dump ingredients into a freezer bag. You're gonna get that in your freezer. On the day you go to make this, you thaw it, throw it into your slow cooker, and that's it. Turn it on, you know, as they say, set it and forget it. So come along with us as we show you how easy these are to make. We also have a little bit of an announcement for you later, so stay tuned for that. Let's get started. We're gonna grab our chicken and we're gonna make 2 chicken recipes. We might as well do them almost at the same time.
That's so smart. We've never done that.
Never done that before.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna scurry around and grab our ingredients. Christy's got 4 chicken breasts in her bag. I've got 3 in my bag.
Right, thank you.
And we're gonna be making Zippy shredded chicken tacos and
Hot honey chicken sandwiches.
very different recipes, but both amazing. Okay, I'm gonna throw mine together first. All we're gonna do is we've got our chicken in the bag. We are going to do 4 tablespoons of taco seasoning. Now, we buy our taco seasoning in bulk because we go through so much of it. 4 tablespoons is equivalent to 1 packet, so if you prefer, you can just use a packet.
It's also a 1/4 cup.
Yes, that would be another way to measure it. Might be a more efficient way to measure it. And then we're gonna add in 2 tablespoons or about half a packet of dry ranch seasoning. This is a really forgiving recipe, so like if they're heaping tablespoons versus flattened, it doesn't really matter. And 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes. Now in Canada, most of our cans don't come with the little poppy, like handy lid, but this one does. And I always get like weirdly excited when this happens to me.
It's such a treat.
I know, but I've heard that in the UK and some other countries, it's super common to have those kinds of lids. And they're like, why do you guys need an electric can opener? But that's why, because most of our cans don't have that. So I'm gonna add in the fire roasted tomatoes. And then we're just gonna squish this all together in the bag. You're gonna seal it. Now it's really important that you get out all the air that you can, because when you're doing freezer cooking, we always say air is the enemy because that's what causes your freezer burn. So we're gonna get that sealed up, and then we have these handy dandy labels. And so this is what we're making today. Our Moroccan chickpea stew, our Zippy shredded chicken tacos, our hot honey chicken sandwiches, our Mississippi pot roast, and sloppy joes. Pretty awesome menu, if I do say so myself. So we've got all of these on our handy little sheet, and these have the cooking instructions as well as the date. So that means you know when they went in your freezer and how to make them. And if you want to gift them to people, you can go ahead and do that because they'll know how to make them too. And these come from the Freezer Meals 101 Club. For those of you that don't know, that is our paid membership where you can take our tried and true freezer meal recipes. You can create your own meal plan with your shopping list, your prep list, and printable labels. And in there, the labels you can choose, like if you want to make it in your slow cooker, you can create a slow cooker label. If you want to make it in your Instant Pot, you can make an Instant Pot label. Or we've got some where you can choose between barbecue or oven or skillet or, you know.
Totally, and some of them, they're even all on the same label. It depends how much cooking instructions there are because it doesn't all fit sometimes.
That's true. So this is super handy, and after you put that recipe together, I'm gonna tell you something about the Freezer Meals 101 Club and how it is getting way better. It's getting an upgrade.
It is getting an upgrade, but I will do these hot honey chicken sandwiches first. We are going to have our 4 chicken breasts in the bag. We're going to add in a generous amount of cayenne pepper. Now, the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon. It's a lot, right? But it's actually the way it should be. If you find that that's going to be way too much for your family, you can do less. Charlotte's family handles the spice a lot better than our family, and so our family can do this. You would probably maybe even add a bit more than that.
Yeah, I would add more.
Yes. We're going to add in a teaspoon of smoked paprika.
If you don't like smoked paprika, because we do know someone in our club who prefers regular paprika, you can substitute this out for regular paprika and it will be fine.
We're going to add 3 cloves of garlic. Now, we use garlic from a jar. We call it jarlic sometimes, and it honestly is faster and it's a lot more flavorful than using garlic powder. We're going to add in 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a cup of honey. Now,
That is very precarious.
well, do you know what? We've been doing other cooking today and we were out of measuring cups. And these are the little prep bowls from Pampered Chef are graduated. And so it means that they have the measurements right on it. And I'm like, well, honey's gonna have good surface tension. I can get it right up to the brim.
And you did it.
I'm gonna science this, yo. But look at what it's doing to my bag, right? Like it's starting to like, that's why you do freezer meals with a friend.
So that your friend can prop it up and hold it while you get things.
I know, while I go and wipe the honey off my hand. Then we're going to add in a tablespoon of vinegar. Now, here's something. I don't really like to get my spoons wet if I'm gonna like use them for dry things later. So I'm gonna estimate a tablespoon of vinegar. And I'm gonna probably overdo it, but do you know what? There's a lot of honey in here.
Can she do it?
She can do it. Yay!
And the crowd goes wild.
A 1/4 cup of butter, so that would be half a stick for those Americans in the crowd. We're Canadian, so we don't even, do you know a lot of Americans seem to say 1/4 of a stick of butter, like, or 1/4, they don't say a quarter. I think that's our British in us that say it that way. So that would be that would be about half a cup. That would be a 1/4 cup.
Very nice.
And I don't even have to melt this. I don't have to anything. I'm just gonna plop it in there.
When it's in your slow cooker, it's gonna melt all on its own as the chicken cooks. It's gonna be really nice.
That'd be great.
This one, it's a sticky one.
It's a sticky one. I'm glad I always have an apron on. I'm glad I have an apron on today.
Even when you eat it, it's a sticky one.
Oops.
But it's good.
It was a splashy one right there. Okay, and then this is it. This is it. We're gonna get that extra air out of the bag. We're gonna seal it up and freeze it. On the day of cooking, guess where it's gonna go? Slow cooker. You're gonna put this on low for 4 or 5 hours. You could do it on high for less time. You're gonna shred it up and you are going to put it on like hamburger buns or like a fancy brioche bun if you want to be fancy. And the honey and the, I don't know, and the cayenne, the heat that comes out of it.
It's good.
It's so good.
I forgot to tell you, with your Zippy shredded chicken tacos, it's tacos, right? So it's going in your slow cooker. You're gonna shred it when it's done. Shredded meat just does so well in the slow cooker. That's really the place for it. And then this can be served with your tacos, like your fixings, right? So it can be served in soft shell or hard shell tacos. It can also be served on nachos. This one is so good. It goes in tacos in a bag or walking tacos.
I have used this in enchiladas.
Oh, it would be perfect for enchiladas.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, we're gonna clear down the chicken stuff and get to the next recipe. Come along with us. So earlier I was telling you that we had an announcement about the Freezer Meals 101 Club, and that is that we are starting next month with live cooking classes.
Yes, we are. We are putting ourselves out there, I think.
It's gonna be super fun. What we're gonna do is, for club members, we're gonna send you a PDF ahead of time. It's gonna have the recipes, it's gonna have your shopping list, it's gonna have your prep list, it's gonna have those printable labels that are so handy. And you can go and you can do your shopping, you can do your prep, and then you can join us live and we're gonna cook it together. But there's something even better. We know that some of you are cooking for families and some of you are cooking for yourself or just two of you. And so we're actually in the live cooking class, we're gonna be doing, like, one of us will do the family meal and one of us will show you how you can adapt that recipe to do it for one or two. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna work for everyone. And of course, because it's live, we're gonna be there to answer your questions and we can just interact and it'll really be like you're in the kitchen with us. So we're really excited about that. But here's the part that is super important. You need to go now and join the club because the price is going up soon. So go to the link in the description below and join now because the price that you join the club at stays your price for as long as you're a member. So if you're already a member, you get to enjoy the live cooking classes as well as everything that's already in there, like those 350 recipes. Plus, I guess there's more than 350
There's
recipes.
more than 350.
And we add more every month. Usually we add more every week, but I don't like to say that because I don't want to get your hopes up for that 1 week or 2 weeks a year that I'm on vacation or something. So we add a lot of recipes in there and we would love to have you join us. The thing we're most excited about the cooking class is that it's going to allow you, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, don't know where to start, to have a roadmap and just come and do it with us. And we're gonna walk you through step by step.
It's gonna be really great.
Mississippi pot roast is super, super fast to put together. All you're gonna do is in your freezer bag, you're gonna add your beef roast, some pepperoncini peppers with the juice. I like to just pop the stems off just with my, my fingers. And then you're gonna add some butter, a packet of au jus gravy, and some dry ranch seasoning, which we already had out from our Zippy shredded chicken tacos, and some salt and pepper. You're just gonna mix this together in the bag. Again, get out as much air as you can, seal it, and freeze it. On the day you go to make this, you just thaw it, dump it into the slow cooker, and you're gonna, once it's cooked, shred it, and you can serve this on mashed potatoes, on rice, or even on buns. I'm telling you, the flavors in this with those pepperoncini peppers, so good.
So I am just prepping a few things for the Moroccan chickpea stew. Part of what makes this so good is the sweet potatoes or yams, and they're a little bit big and cumbersome, so I'll be glad to get these done.
The Moroccan chickpea stew is so amazing. Like, flavors are out of this world. I had it at this restaurant in Kamloops, BC. It was like a breakfast restaurant, weirdest thing, but saw it on the menu and I was like, I have to try that. And once I tried it, I was like, I have to recreate that at home. So this is my recreated version of that recipe. To get this many flavors, there are a lot of ingredients. So yes, it's kind of a simple recipe because we're just throwing everything in the bag, but there are a lot of ingredients. So Christy's over there chopping an onion and I'm gonna start opening cans. Now we've got a can of chickpeas and a can of diced tomatoes, super easy. The chickpeas we are gonna drain in our little sink strainer colander thing, and rinse them. Now, we love our electric can opener. If you're opening one can, it's fine to use like a regular can opener. But if you're opening as many cans as we do when we do freezer meals, it can sometimes be 100 cans. No, I'm not exaggerating. We counted one time in a mega session. It was over 100 cans. So then this trusty guy has saved our wrists. gonna go and drain this while,
You can actually give it to me.
actually, I'm giving that to Christy. She's gonna drain it for me. How handy. And when we're done with this strainer, I'm actually gonna use it for our pitted Kalamata olives as well. This is really nice for that.
Here is the strainer. We love it.
It's got little graduated measuring things on the side, and so I know that I need half a cup of pitted olives, so this kind of makes it perfect. Okay, that took a little bit to gather the ingredients because seriously, I don't even want to count, and my math skills are not
There's a
like
lot.
that.
Yeah, we won't. You can count and let us know just from watching the video. So it's a super, like Charlotte said, super simple to put together and so worth any effort of the chopping and the gathering of the ingredients. Start out with an onion that's been diced.
We're gonna add all of our sweet potato because this will also help stabilize the bag
It's
if you
true.
put it in the beginning.
That's
Those are
true.
nice and solid.
Going to add in our garlic from a jar, and it's a lot. 3 cloves, haha, I can do a big scoop. Sometimes I get a little overexcited about the garlic. We're going to add our chickpeas.
Our diced tomatoes. I'll get Christy to help hold the bag because at this point it's getting pretty darn full.
Do freezer meals with your friends.
It's so much more fun.
It is way more
too.
fun. It's really true.
And then these Kalamata olives that we had rinsed. Ooh, but they still made a bit of a mess.
That's okay. That's why I have an apron on. Oh, good.
Exactly. You always have the nicest aprons too. Now, a cup of vegetable broth. This is where it really gets dicey. Now, you can use a container to hold your bag open. Sometimes we do that. Just put it in a juice jug or in a Tupperware container.
But honestly, the way it is right now, it's pretty solid. Like, if we were doing 4 cups, I would be worried, but with 1 cup, no problem.
Easy peasy. Now we're doing a tablespoon of brown sugar. I had measured it out ahead, and then all the seasonings. So it is 2 teaspoons of cumin.
Oh, this one.
Now the recipe for this is in the description down below, so you don't need to be like furiously jotting this down as you go. And then you're gonna add some curry powder.
Just 1 teaspoon?
2 teaspoons of curry
2
powder.
teaspoons of curry powder.
I'm not a very good navigator today.
That's okay. Next.
1 teaspoon of paprika.
Whew. We had the big jar out today, so we get to do it from a bowl.
Half teaspoon of cinnamon.
Oh yes, ma'am.
I'm usually a little generous on that one. It's like
It might be
half
heaping.
a heaping teaspoon of cinnamon.
Okay.
And half a teaspoon of turmeric, which is really nice and healthy for you.
That's right. Again, with my apron, I'm just gonna do that. There would be chefs that would throw me out of a kitchen for that. There's always rags for that kind of stuff on. You don't need to do it on your apron. Okay.
And then a little bit of cayenne pepper. This is one that, you can adjust to your spice tolerance. It says a 1/4 teaspoon. I usually do about a half, but depending on how spicy you like things.
For the record, Charlotte likes things spicy. So if you were wondering what the rest of that statement is, I did half here.
There you go. And salt and pepper, which I seem to have put away. And
Oh, I have some salt.
I have pepper.
Woohoo!
Look at what a team we are.
I know. Oh, this is the best. We're so cute.
And that's it for that one. And so, squish everything together in the bag, get your air out, seal it, and freeze it. Now, this one can just go in your slow cooker, or it can go on a stovetop pot and heat up that way. Now, if you want to get, I don't know, we want to say weird or fancy, but you can also poach eggs in this one and serve it for brunch.
I think that is super weird and super fancy, and that's because this is like Moroccan, therefore it is like Middle Eastern flair, right? I guess that's North Africa. But that reminds me of the shakshuka.
Yes, we
Do you
have
know?
an amazing shakshuka recipe because Why not make shakshuka as a freezer meal?
We had never even heard of it until like a year ago, and then we have like mastered it.
Absolutely, and it's so good. I actually recently brought it to like a small group from our church that we meet every week, and they were having a games night, and I brought it because I was like, somebody there is dairy-free and gluten-free, and how many things can you do appetizer? Well, I mean, you can, there are things, but that was like an easy one. I could just grab it out of the freezer, take it with me.
Did you do the eggs?
I totally did. I let the host know ahead of time that I was gonna need a skillet. I brought the eggs
you're
with
so
me.
funny. You made it right
and
there. I love
made
that.
it right there, and I had, you know, some gluten-free crackers, and I had some baguettes that were, you know, ready for the people that can eat gluten, and they can scoop that on there if they want, and, you know, eggs kind of to your doneness that you like, and yeah, it was great.
I love that so much.
It went over really well. We're gonna be just running around gathering up the ingredients for our sloppy joes now. So for the sloppy joes, we had gone ahead and browned the beef already and cooled it. I had this amazing sale on ground beef that I found. So I'm making a lot of ground beef recipes today and tomorrow, and
Yeah, you know.
because you take advantage of those things.
You totally do.
Especially when you have the club and you can just go in there and click the ground beef button and populate all the ground beef recipes. So what you're gonna do is, for ground beef, 1 pound is 2 1/3 cups. And so we've got our cooled and cooked ground beef in our bowl, and we've got a 1 cup measuring cup in there. And so we can just easily measure out, oh, I'm gonna move that so you can see what I'm doing here. You can just easily measure out 1 pound, which is gonna be 2 1/3 cups. Now for that 3rd cup, we're just kind of guessing, but we're pretty good at eyeballing. Then you're gonna add some minced onion, minced garlic, again from a jar, a little bit of diced green pepper, some salt, pepper, dry mustard powder, chili sauce, tomato sauce, ketchup, brown sugar, Worcestershire sauce, and lemon juice. You're gonna squish all of that together in the bag, get out that excess air, seal it, and get that in the freezer. From your freezer, you thaw it, and this one is a pretty thin bag, so it thaws pretty quickly. You get that into your slow cooker, and you just serve this on buns. It's always a hit, super kid friendly. If you've been kind of on the fence about whether or not to try doing freezer meals, I hope that you'll give these no-fail recipes a try, because
it's really true. You can't fail. They are no fail. You can do these, and they are delicious. You could feed these to company.
this is something where if you have a slow cooker, you can make these. If you don't, you could even adapt them to be stovetop recipes.
Oven.
And oven, that is true. And those sloppy joes, you can do those in a skillet.
Yep.
You can do the Moroccan chickpea stew in a large skillet or in a stovetop pot. You could probably do that one in the oven as well. So
Yes, you could.
these are easy, no-fail recipes, and we hope you enjoyed our time with us today. We really enjoyed our time with you. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to click on that link below and join us in the club so that you can come to our live cooking classes.
We'll see you soon.
Happy cooking.